and what would you like to tell us today about Old Highway 90?
I'm actually talking about the family business, Del Bravo Record Shop. We've been in business 52 years, basically the same location. We're a record label, so we've been recording for 50 years. Most of the people we've recorded are like Flaco Jimenez, Santiago Jimenez, Lopavo Reales, Lydia Mendoza. Any name that you hear connected with South Texas Hispanic music has probably passed through these doors and has been recorded or photographed or videotaped in this building. Next door to us, where the art space is, we used to have our own museum called Texas y su Música. So that was basically a Hispanic museum. Started by my father, curated by my father until he got ill and we closed it down. But this is, for us, our home away from home. We actually live here more than we live at home. So everybody that comes through here has come as a child who came with their parents, who has been brought by their grandparents, or they bring their own children. So we have 50 years of families coming through, and they'll come and keep tabs with us, you know. They'll call us from California, New York. By the way, can you send me my fix of music from Texas, you know. We love doing that for people. We do that also for the military. They request things from us, and if we can, we find it and we send it because, you know, we just love music and we love helping people find that music. Now, we're also kind of like our own museum in here. There's history on our walls, there's history everywhere. Half the time we don't know what's behind us until you point it and it's like, oh, we have that too, you know. We love art. Our storefront was painted by a local artist, Jacinto Guevara, who painting was purchased by Cheech Marin at Cheech and Chong. And so now it's an exhibit, so we're like, okay, we're famous and nobody knows who we are, you know. And so now it's also the cover of a book. And we're like, no royalties here for us. And that's one of our other businesses. Here we also collect royalties on music compositions. So any music from this area of composers, we collect their royalties for them. But here in our time, have you heard of the rodeo that comes into San Antonio? In February we have our rodeo. So we have cowboys coming in from all the local towns. They used to ride down this street. We would crank up the music for them, run outside, you know, take pictures of them. They changed the route because it's a little dangerous now going all the way through town, but that used to be great to see. Half a block from us on the corner, there used to be an open-air theater called El Capitan. For us, it was the greatest thing on Friday. Go to the drive-in. Never did see any of the movies. We were there for the girls, you know. So you drive in, you buy your box of chicken, and everybody went looking for their girlfriend. You know, lie to your parents. I'm out with boys, you know, not getting into any trouble. But it's kind of hard to talk about everything that's happened. My father, who was a composer, has written songs about the neighborhood for all those years. There's a little business across the street. If you go home, you'll see it and it's marked as 411. That's actually the physical address on Highway 90. In our time, it was called a Camaroncito nightclub. And there's a story that made it into the newspaper that the devil was seen dancing with a woman there. And it made it into the newspaper and into the TV. And the woman swears that she looked down and the man had, you know, the cloven hoof and the rooster's foot. And my father wrote a song about that, you know. It was popular in this time, you know, but these events happen around us and it's strange, you know. My father also wrote songs on, there's an Air Force base here called Kelly Air Force Base. It closed down. When it was closing, they wrote a song please don't take my Kelly feel away. All of this in Spanish, but it affected us because it moved us from middle class back down to lower class. You're like, okay, you could live pretty well working at Kelly Air Force Base. And further down we have another park that is called Camargo Park. But for us old people, we like it as Pablo's Grove. That used to be the place to go listen to live air music. Pecan trees all over the place. Beautiful setting. But all these places are disappearing. They want to concrete everything over, build something new. I don't mind progress. It's nice to be able to walk down and get your bagel and coffee. But if you push out everything that makes the area what you want, it's not good. For us, it's all music. If you don't have a favorite song, we can't help you. But if you come here and you hum it, we'll locate it for you. Doesn't matter if it's English, Spanish. I even listen to Japanese music, and so everybody has their own goals. We used to know all the people that own businesses on these streets because we all help each other. We're a small store, so if I don't help the guy next to me pay his workers, those workers won't come here and buy from us. If you go to some place like Barnes & Noble, nobody's going to help you find the music, but we will track it down for you. For us, it's just the people you see outside. All of them are here because they know all of us. There's 8 of us in this family, and we all have our friends and we all have our connections, and sometimes we meet each other and it's like, you know him? That's my brother. You know her? Well, that's my cousin, or distantly related. It's like your Italian family. We all know each other and we are in each other's business. But that's good because we all take care of each other. And that's why we were upset when they changed the street name. Our identity is connected to that name. I know you could put any name you want, but here you go, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Highway 90. And everybody's like, oh, I know the area. And then you go, who's your family? Oh, we're the ones that own that business. Now everybody knows who you are. It's like, okay, I know where you're coming from. I know your dad. I know your mom. So I know if you do something wrong, I know who I'm going to call. That's makes us what we are here. We're just a big family, and you'd be surprised how many people know you from somebody else. But and I'm listening to this music. This is Mi Viejo San Antonio, my old San Antonio. So these are things, the man singing is my father's oldest friend who passed away, composer. So we can recognize songs and go, I know who's singing, My father, who was a great composer, could write a whole song in 15 minutes. And the museums here in the area are asking us for my father's paperwork. And they want to see all these drafts of everything he wrote. And I'm like, he sits down and in 15 minutes he composes and is done, and he's recorded it and it's at the radio station. So there's not a second draft, a third draft. It's done. He just had to take it out of his head to his fingertips and it's done. So I'm distracted by the song.
So
I like it.
And you have the papers and the recordings in your possession here, correct?
Yes. We have 50 years of recording masters. Like I said, we collect royalties, so we have all our paperwork, catalogs of that music for 50 years, photographs of the artwork we use for the albums and CDs and 8-tracks and 45s and We have some of the, when you used to make a vinyl, you would have a machine called cutter that would cut the sound into a metal disc. Then you get liquefied plastic and press the record out. We still have some of those metal discs. So we have a lot. It's just that sometimes you pick it up and you go, oh, I remember this, you know. And then you have to file it someplace. So my office looks like it threw up, you know, basically. So I have projects on top of projects. But it's trying to sort everything and put it into some kind of sequence. Because eventually everybody comes looking for a song for their grandfather, for their grandmother. I remember my parents when they got married, this song was playing, and I want that for their 50th anniversary. You know? And so that's us, you know. We're the ones that are going to do that for you. Only because it brings us happiness to see you happy. You know? But I don't know what else I can tell you except I'm in love with this area. You know? I could live, and I have lived other places, but I always come back here.
That says a lot. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Really, that was